Hi guys. So if you're watching this, you're probably either new to periods or you're a guy watching it against your will because your girlfriend is making you after you asked a stupid question like what size tampons do you need? Because those are questions that I have heard some guys ask. So I thought I would teach you guys about the different tampons and how they work. So your girlfriend doesn't have to, or your mom or dad doesn't have to have that awkward conversation. So we're gonna go from like the smallest tampon to the largest. This is the light, so that's what the L is for. The L is for light. It's for your flow, if your flow is light. And I have some water here. I've just colored it blue so you can see it. Yeah, so and there you have it. It soaked up all of the water it could. And I guess we'll just keep it in there because I don't really have anywhere else to put it while it's dripping blue liquid. So the next size up is regular. Now, regular is a little bit bigger, although as someone who has used all three sizes that I have here today, they don't feel any different from each other when they're in. So you can already see how much bigger regular is and how much more absorbent it is than the light. And the next one is super. Then there's also ultra and like ultra deluxe or something like that. But that is for people who have really heavy periods. Yeah, ultra is a bit bigger than the super, which is this, and you can see how much bigger it is compared to the other two. And just the three of these, you could tell that the water was up to here before I put any of these in. Now it's down to here. That's how much liquid each of them soaked up. And if you imagine that this blue liquid is period blood, then you've got the gist. Honestly, in hindsight, I probably could have made this red. I don't know why I grabbed blue, but whatever. Most people that I know combine pads and tampons. They put a tampon in and then they also wear a pad in case the tampon leaks, because sometimes they do leak. And it's what I do as well. And now, tampons are completely different from pads, but they still hold the same purpose. I should probably get something to put these in. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And now we're going to cover pads. Now there are liners, which are a lot smaller and thinner. Then there are pads. Some have wings, some don't. This one has wings. And we are going to put it on a little paper plate to test the absorbency of that as well. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of this on the pad, but first I'm gonna position the camera so you guys can see it better. Okay, so with the pad, the absorbency, it sucks everything up pretty fast. And so when tampons leak, it's good to have like a pad or a liner. Some pads actually legit feel like diapers, but as you can see, the liner is much smaller and much thinner. So we are going to test the absorbency of that one as well by sticking it on another paper plate. And yeah, this one, it's not really meant to be your sole method of soaking up your period blood. As you can see, you know, it's kind of beading and stuff. It's mostly meant for leaks. And so you can tell this one soaked up all the liquid, and then this one did not. Yeah, so the bigger ones are typically more absorbent. And the liners are typically more comfortable. At least from my experience and in my opinion. So the last method of period protection usually is menstrual cups, which is like a little silicone cup that goes inside the vagina, and it just stays there and catches all the blood. Then you can take it out, dump it out, wash it, reuse it. I personally don't use them, but I know that a lot of women find that they are really convenient, because look at all this plastic from 3 tampons and 2 pads. All this plastic. And let's not forget the 3 tampon applicators, which can't be used again. They're definitely a lot less wasteful to use. And just look at all that waste. They're better for the planet, but not the easiest things to use. At least they haven't been for me. And the way you use tampons is you put this whole thing up to about here inside your vagina, and then you push it down and in. So that way it goes deep enough to catch all the blood and not be uncomfortable. Because if it's deep enough, you won't feel it. But if it's too deep, it'll hurt. So that's one thing you gotta be careful about. But other than that, that's how tampons work. Yeah, it'll take a few months to figure out the right method for you, because you only bleed for a few days once a month. Now, sometimes periods can be irregular, like you'll miss a month, and that's completely fine when you're just starting out. But if it's not normal for you, and you are having sex with someone who can get you pregnant, just take a pregnancy test. That's all I gotta say. Just take a pregnancy test. If there is even the slightest possibility that you could be pregnant, just take a test. Because knowing it is better than not knowing and not getting the care that you need for your baby. Like, there's this one TLC show called I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant, and it's a bunch of stories about women who didn't know they were pregnant until the baby came out. And the number one thing that they're always saying is, I didn't have any prenatal care. What if there's something wrong with my baby because of that? They always feel so guilty that they didn't get any prenatal care, but they didn't know. It's not their fault. I'm quoting Mama Dr. Jones when I say this, but we do the best we can with the information that we have. That's something that she always says. She's an OBGYN that often reacts to episodes of I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant on YouTube. But anyway, that's about it. I mean, with periods, they start around puberty, so around like 13. And you bleed, you cramp. It only lasts a few days, then it stops. And that's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah. The tampon sizes are based on how much you bleed, not how big your vagina is. That is like the number one dumb question that guys ask. And before anyone asks, you can pee with a tampon in. There's two different holes. Pee comes out of one hole, the blood comes out of the other. Because, like, even some women don't realize that. Like, my mom had a friend when she was, like, in college, I think, that didn't know that she had two holes. Now, you've got 3 holes down there. You've got your urethra, where the pee comes out, your vagina, where the blood and occasionally a baby comes out, and your butthole. Three holes down there. Men only have 2 holes. Their urethra and their butthole. Women have a whole other hole. I can't believe I could. I never thought I would say something like that. Like, ever. But I just did. Okay then. I hope you learned something. You can ask your questions in the comments of this video. And let me know if I should do more of these types of videos. Because I'm willing to do it. I have absolutely no problem talking about uncomfortable topics. I could do a whole series about having uncomfortable conversations so you don't have to. I could totally do it. Just depends on if that's the kind of thing that you guys want me to do. Yeah, but let me know your questions if you have any. And I will do my best to answer them. You don't have to be nervous. This is something that women have been doing since the beginning of time, or at least since humans have been around. It's completely natural. I can see how some people would find it gross. But it's one of those topics where if we don't talk about it, people will go on thinking some really dumb things to be true. And we don't want that. See you guys in the next video.